Happy October. How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to your monthly reading. I'm really excited about this reading. I've been thinking about how to do it and what I want to focus on. So, with it being spooky season and the veil being thin, and there being two eclipses this month, especially one right next to Samhain, right before the 31st of October, I want to look at messages for you for this month that relate to the eclipses and what you need to know going into this spirit season. So instead of doing like a big spread, I was going to pull a card for the first eclipse, which is a solar eclipse on the 14th. And then there's going to be a lunar eclipse right around Halloween on the 28th, I think. Now, those dates might be wrong. If you want more information about eclipses, I am a tarot guru. I am not an astrology guru. I know very little astrology. What I can tell you is I have a podcast episode way back in the first season, and it is about eclipses, and it does talk about how we can work with eclipses. We do not need to fear them. They are a natural phenomenon. They happen every 6 months. The energies coming up, you're supposed to be working with, my love. You are. They're very natural. They're very normal energies, and you are supposed to be working with them. So let's do that. So I'm going to shuffle. Oh, because it's Halloween, I'm using my antique anatomy tarot. It's a really fun one. I thought it'd be fun to play with. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle up first off with that new moon solar eclipse. We have this Eight of Pentacles. So I want to talk about how the Eight of Pentacles is always, it's a revisiting, right? It talks about 202, 303, like those higher levels, those next level lessons. Lots of stuff comes up on these eclipses, right? They're here for us to work with, and they're often around shadow aspects. They're around some of our hurts, some of our wounds. And if you know anything about astrology, there is big astrology happening this month. We want to look at the next levels that are coming up for you. Some of the things that are going to be surfacing are old hurts, old pains, old aspects we've looked at before. So I don't want you to think about it on that first level. I want you to go deeper. I want you to go underneath. I want you to get to the root of it and examine it, always with deep compassion, always with deep compassion, because this is a time of accelerated growth. The 2 weeks between one eclipse and the next eclipse is a huge time of growth. Now we can fight that growth or we can work with it. So I want you to know what's going to be coming up is an old issue, another issue, something you're familiar with, and we want to get not to the surface of it, but deep into it. Okay, that's your Eight of Pentacles. Now the next card we have is the Two of Swords. So with that one, it's really interesting because the Two of Swords, twos are always about balance and swords are about our mind. But when it comes to the Two of Swords, there's often this feeling of what we hide from ourselves, what we refuse to see, right? What we keep trying to balance that should be released, what we are refusing to see and struggling against. And I really like that this comes up in a lunar eclipse. The full moon is always about revealing to us the things we cannot see in the daylight. And with that kind of extra magic there of the eclipse, we're really looking at discovering the opportunity to discover what is holding us back, what we refuse to see, what we really are tenaciously holding that we don't need. And these things don't have to be like big catastrophic things in our lives. Like it could be a way we speak to ourselves internally that is self-defeating. It could be a habit that we struggle letting go of. It could be, instead of looking at the habit, looking at the emotional trigger underneath. Does that make sense to you? So with this Two of Swords, we want to look at What are we trying to balance around that needs to be let go of? And then to use that alchemy of this kind of eclipse portal to do it. And these lessons are going to cross over. Like, I know I've pulled one for one date and one card for another, but this lesson is working with our energy field and with our psyche and with our emotions this whole month. Okay. So then I pulled 3 cards, and these 3 are messages and guidance just for the whole month. Okay. And the cards you got, first you pulled a tower, and we have been pulling towers all 2023. So tower card, big feels, big stuff. And I believe whatever was going on for us in the summer, this is the ripple effect of it. I know a lot of you did really big healing stuff and had big shifts in the summer. So this is kind of continuing that theme. You are getting to where you are getting with your growth and your healing because you've done that work. I feel like this card, this tower, the way it's coming up, it's not about a new tower moment. It's about recognizing the work you've done and understanding that this new emotion is surfacing because you've cleared so much. We can only get to the levels we're at this month and the depth we are at this month and the changes that are coming through this month because of all the work you've done. So I want you to know, my loves, that you are not being reprimanded, that these feelings are not a negative repercussion for the growth you've taken. What you are uncovering now, you can only find because you did that big work. You would never get to the depth of the emotion that's going to come up this month, or that's going to be revealed to you this month, or you're going to intuit this month if you hadn't done the work of the summer. Okay? So to help you understand this tower, I pulled 2 more cards. I love this deck. It's so fun because we have the Ace of Eclipses. So this would be your Ace of Cups. This would be your water card here, this beautiful alchemical bottle. So what we want to know is, and this is how I know that Tower card is soft, because a new emotional chapter has opened. There is a newness to what you're feeling. There is a freshness to what's coming up. This is not the same emotional pattern we've been in. It's emotion, but it's a brand new renewal. Aces are so powerful. They are the seed, they are the eruption, they are the infusion of that element into your life. And so you've got this water element, this new feeling, this new inspiration, this newness to your creativity coming through the work you've done. And following that up is that 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles, this one is telling me your warning, right? The reality is that you have this beautiful new watery energy, and your tendency is to go to a place of wanting to be rescued with that 5 of coins. You don't need to be rescued. You have what you need. So the struggle is going to be to understand that all the emotions coming up, all the things you're learning about yourself, all that is being revealed to you through this eclipse season and through this spook season and through the beautiful harvesty October, all of it is coming up for you to harvest as a result of the work you've done. Now that you're at the next plateau, this is not a time of complacency. And so the trick is going to be to stand in empowerment, to believe in the truth of yourself, and not go back to thinking that just because you're not in utopia, that you have failed to heal. Okay. That's heavy. That's a lot. Hey. Okay. I hope all of that helps you. I hope you have the most beautiful Samhain. I've got a couple things going on the podcast that are really special for October. So I hope you check that out, and I see you there. And take care of yourself, my love.